guys, we're gonna do another one just to show you guys. Alright guys, so we're doing a little science experiment today with Eric's FC. So he has, this is an EP production car that you got a couple years ago?
Yeah, I got it 3 years ago.
So tell us a little bit of it, about it.
This car was built for E-production, originally built by ISC Racing in 1998. I picked it up in 2021, started racing with NASA, so I haven't done any SCCA events with this yet. But it's street ported, coming in at roughly 2,400 pounds with me inside, doing about 1:46 at Road Atlanta. So the last dyno that we did, I just felt like the motor's a little tired. It's got about 120 hours on it. So really just hoping to see what we can do with a new port and put a new motor in it today and see if I can get some more power out of it.
So what we're gonna do for you guys is we're gonna do some dyno pulls and we're gonna try to test some before and after with engines, different engine setups. You had this engine before you even had the car, yeah. I believe. But what it's here from the old engine, it says E-shaft, rotors, and honestly that's it because you bought everything brand new.
Yeah, so the rotating assembly came out of a 1988 GTU. That car is currently here at the shop getting a 20B. So I used that rotating assembly. We had it clearanced, lightened, balanced here at Angel Motorsports. And we went with a Mike Street port so that we can test and see how this street port does in comparison. Now the current engine is a S5 rotating assembly, so I anticipate the rotors are a little heavier here.
And they're a little bit higher compression
right.
than that other one.
Yeah, we've got the 9.4.
So, but these are lightened S4s. But pretty much he bought brand new plates, brand new housings, lightened rotors, clearance rotors, and a rotating assembly balance here. And this is the engine that we're gonna put on this car. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get some dyno pulls on the car, get a baseline of it. We're gonna install this engine, get another baseline on it, and see what this car likes. NA stuff, you gotta do a lot of R&D to like see what these engines like, what they don't like, just to gain like 10, 15 horsepower here and there. It's a lot of money. Sometimes it might not go the way you want it. All right, so we got it on the dyno. We're gonna calibrate the RPMs to wheel speed right now. So now we're gonna let it go down and see how much horsepower it makes. Again, this is with the old motor, letting it warm up. So as soon as this engine, we do some pulls and get a baseline, this engine is coming out of the car and it's retiring. about what it did last time, right?
Very close.
Yeah, alright, so that's pretty close. It matches what it did on the last dyno. Now we're gonna let it cool down and we're gonna swap out the engine. I'm being a bad YouTuber.
I was gonna say.
We forgot to put the GoPro on time lapse. But this thing's ready to come out. Everything's unhooked. Super easy, it's carbureted, nothing crazy. So now we're gonna pull it out real quick and put the next motor, and I'm gonna set up the GoPro this time. Intake's on, strut bar's going on. Looks like a car again.
This is a quick change, and I'm looking forward to hearing what it sounds like now.
Yeah, so, you know, this has been a long process, not to let people think that we did this car in one day. But this engine's been getting built and worked on for the past like year and a half, pretty much.
Yeah, about a year and a half.
This has been a long thought out process to get to this point.
Yeah, and you know, a car that weighs this much, you'll really be able to feel small increments of power. So as light as this car is, it should really make a huge difference.
Yeah, I'm excited because the goal is to make more 167, and I'm really confident it's going to do that. So let's get it. All right, we're about to do a little bit of a first start. Make sure no leaks. You good to go? Yo, it sounds different. That started right up.
Wow.
Yeah. That was a big difference right there. God damn.
That's got a real chop to it now. Damn.
I didn't think it was going to start that fast.
I'll tell you what, you're going to turn some heads. When you get to the starting grid now, they're going to look and go, oh shit.
Alright, so we're going to let it run right here. Heat cycle. Has competition oil bearings, so it's idling at 80. It has a brand new turbo oil pump. So lots of lots. Let it break in some and change the oil. This is what we're working with. That's what we did before. 167. Right now we haven't adjusted timing, done anything. Alright, so we just got done doing a pull. They're 174, 144 torque. So the wideband's not working, but you can see from the exhaust runners it's running pretty lean. It definitely wants more fuel than the old engine because this engine has more intake ports. Now this engine already made more horsepower than the other engine. 167, 141 is what it made before, and this time it's 174, 144. So it made more horsepower, made more torque, It made a cleaner power band. And if I load this last dyno pull compared to the first one from the first engine, you can tell the difference. So this is the old engine right here, this is the new engine. So it's making more up top and it's holding it longer. Now what we're about to try is we're about to add more fuel because this engine is bigger port, so it wants more fuel. So right now we might just be running a little bit on the leaner side. So we're gonna richen it up real quick and get it from into the 180s, 190 range. That's the goal. And we'll add some timing too. So more timing, more fuel, more horsepower. We got a fan on the carburetor because it's 120 degrees in here. We need to get some fresh air on that. But it just did 187. The 167 and 187 with just swapping engines. I know we ran out of fuel jets, so we're gonna order some fuel jets to add more fuel to it. So this car's gonna be really fast once it goes to the track. Yeah. Especially when it gets colder air and it's moving.
That's going to be a huge difference because it's not taking advantage of any of the plumbing we've got to force air into the engine.
He's got air ducts everywhere, and right now all we have is a roof that is beaming 120 something degrees, probably more, because that's what the heat index is outside, not inside the building. So we've been dying in here. That wraps up tuning for now because we ran out of jetting. So we ended up making 20 more horsepower just from swapping engines with restrictions of this class, which is E-production, which restricts us to a street port.
Right.
So we did gain 20 horsepower just from changing an engine, and we have a lot more in it because we still have some more tuning to do.
And this is done on a day where the heat index was 110 degrees, so it was a challenge trying to find the right air-fuel ratio. Yeah. Especially since my Bosch sensor went down. So a little bit more fine tuning, and I think this thing's gonna rip even more.
Yeah, it should be over 200. So right now it's close to 190 on the Mustang dyno. I think it was 187. This is a before and after. The light red one is the old engine. The darker red one is the new engine. So considerably, the whole RPM range is making more power. So we definitely made a step in the right direction. Absolutely. With the engine. It should feel completely different at the track, and we still have probably another like 15 to 20 horsepower on the table once we adjust the fuel trims.
Again, competition weight of 2,400 pounds, that 20 horsepower is going to be, but dyno will feel that for sure.
Definitely. So, but yeah, that wraps up our science experiment. Like, subscribe, we'll see you guys later.